Hi, I'm Mahia, the king who swallowed his children in the last episode. Cronus overthrew his father Uranus and became the new ruler of the cosmos. But his victory came with a warning. One day, his own child would rise against him, just as he had risen against his father. And from that moment, Cronus was no longer ruled by strength. He was ruled by fear. Cronus sat upon the throne of the universe. Beside him was Rhea, his sister, his queen. Together, they ruled over the age of the Titans. For a time, the cosmos appeared peaceful. The old king was gone, the Titans were free, and Cronus possessed everything he had ever wanted: power, authority, a throne. No one could challenge, but no matter how powerful he became, he could not forget the prophecy. The words followed him everywhere. One day, your own child will overthrow you. Then Rhea gave birth to their first child, a daughter. Her name was Hestia. Rhea held the child in her arms, but before she could protect her, Cronus took the baby. He looked at his daughter and remembered the prophecy. He did not see an innocent child. He saw a future enemy, and so he made a horrifying decision. Cronus swallowed her whole. Rhea was devastated, but Cronus believed he had defeated fate. If his child could never grow, then his child could never challenge him. The prophecy could never come true, or so he believed. Soon, Rhea gave birth again, this time to Demeter. But once again, Cronus was waiting, and once again, he swallowed the child. Then came Hera, she too was taken. Then Hades, and after him, Poseidon, 5 children, 5 future gods, all swallowed by their own father. Cronus told himself that he was protecting his throne, that he was protecting the universe, that he had no other choice. But with each child he swallowed, he became more like the father he had once hated. Uranus had imprisoned his children because he feared their power. Now Cronus was doing the same. The son who had once fought a tyrant had become a tyrant himself. But the children were not destroyed. They were immortal. Hidden inside Cronus, they remained alive, waiting, unable to escape, unable to grow free. And Rhea was forced to live beside the husband who had taken every child she had ever held. Then Rhea became pregnant for a 6th time. But this time something changed. She refused to lose another child. She went secretly to Gaia, the ancient mother of the earth, the same Gaia who had helped Cronus overthrow Uranus. Rhea begged her for help. Together, Gaia and Uranus devised a plan to hide the newborn child and deceive the king of the Titans. When the time came, Rhea traveled in secret to the island of Crete, far from Cronus, far from his throne. There, hidden from the eyes of the Titan king, she gave birth to a son. His name was Zeus. But Rhea knew she could not keep him beside her. Cronus would come, he would demand the child, and if he discovered Zeus, the baby would share the fate of his brothers and sisters. So Rhea left her son, hidden in Crete, where he could grow far from his father's reach. Then she prepared the final part of her plan. Rhea found a heavy stone. She wrapped it carefully in swaddling clothes. From a distance, it looked like a newborn baby. Then she returned to Cronus. She held the bundle in her arms, pretending that her 6th child was inside. Cronus did not stop to look. He did not question her. He did not even uncover the child's face. Blinded by fear, he took the bundle and swallowed it. The stone disappeared into his stomach, and Cronus believed he had defeated destiny once again. He had no idea that his youngest son was still alive. Far away on the island of Crete, Zeus grew in secret. Each year, he became stronger. The child Cronus believed he had swallowed was becoming the greatest threat to his rule. But Zeus did not grow up knowing only safety. He grew up with the knowledge that his father had swallowed all 5 of his siblings. He knew that somewhere inside Cronus, they were still waiting. And when Zeus finally reached adulthood, he decided it was time to bring them back. But Cronus was still the king of the Titans, powerful, suspicious, and surrounded by allies. Zeus could not simply walk into the palace and challenge him, not yet. First, he needed a plan, and for that, he turned to Metis, a Titaness known for her wisdom and cunning. Together, they prepared a potion, a powerful drink that would force Cronus to release everything he had swallowed. Zeus approached his father in disguise, Cronus did not recognize him. To the Titan king, Zeus was merely a stranger, a servant, someone unimportant, someone who could never threaten him, and that mistake would cost him everything. Zeus offered Cronus the drink. The king accepted it. Perhaps he believed no one would dare poison the ruler of the cosmos. Perhaps after so many years, he had begun to feel safe. But moments after drinking it, Cronus felt something change. A violent force rose within him. He tried to resist, but the potion was too powerful. First, Cronus brought up the stone, the same stone Rhea had wrapped in baby clothes, the same stone he had swallowed. Believing it was Zeus, it fell before him, revealing the truth. The sixth child had survived. Then, one by one, the others emerged: Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, and finally Hestia. The children Cronus had tried to erase stood before him, alive, free, and fully grown. For the first time, the six siblings were together: Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, Hestia. They had been born as the children of Titans, but soon the world would know them by another name, the Olympians. Cronus looked upon them and finally understood. The prophecy had not been avoided. Every cruel decision he had made had brought it closer. By trying to destroy his children, he had united them against him. By trying to escape fate, he had created the very rebellion and he feared. But Cronus would not surrender his throne, and the other Titans would not simply accept Zeus as their new ruler. The cosmos was about to divide. On one side stood Cronus and the Titans, ancient, powerful, the rulers of the old world. On the other stood Zeus and his newly freed siblings, young, untested, but determined to end the reign of their father. The first challenge had been completed. The children of Siraj were free, but freedom's Nise was not victory to claim the universe. They would have to fight the most powerful being who had ever ruled it, and that war would last for 10 years, a war that would shake the heavens, break the mountains, and decide who would rule the cosmos. It would become known as the Titanomachy, the war of the Titans. And that brings us to the end of episode 2. In the next episode, Zeus and the Olympians will go to war against Cronus, Crete, and the Titans. But to win, Zeus will need help from the very monsters and his grandfather once imprisoned, the Cyclopes, and the 100-handed ones. If you enjoyed this story, follow the channel back and join me for the next chapter. Until next time, goodbye.